Hey, what's up? Let me tell you something. I am really excited to talk about this topic, okay? Because recently we received a few thoughtful comments on one of our short videos about what millennials and Gen Z value in home ownership. If you haven't seen it yet, click the link in the description and watch it. All right. So, first, let me say that I'm really grateful for these comments because the conversation matters. And I really take these perspectives seriously. All right. At the same time, I think it's really worth clarifying the purpose of that short video. The audience was primarily home sellers who are preparing to put their house on the market, and they want to understand what today's buyers are looking for. It wasn't meant to be a deep dive into the root causes of housing affordability. All right. Still, since the topic came up, let's talk about it. All right. I'm not going to shy away from this because we got to get into this stuff. It's what is important to you guys. All right. So I'm going to respond directly to a few of the comments that we received. Then I'm going to step back and let's take a look at the bigger picture, because while affordable real estate feels like a myth in 2025, the story is more complex than sound bites on social media. Y'all ready for this? All right, check this out. All right, so comment number one: younger generations have been systematically priced out of the market. So at Michael Whitford 2347 wrote, you completely miss the root cause of why this is the case. It's not personal preference. Younger generations have been systematically priced out of the market. Take a look at housing rent prices compared to the average income over time, and you will understand the situation a little better. Okay. All right, Michael, let's see. I hear you, buddy. All right, listen. Here's the deal. There's no conspiracy to price anybody out of the market. This video was not about affordability, but let's go there. Okay. You brought it up, so we're going to go there. When I bought my first house, I was 26 years old. And man, I'm going to tell you, we looked at so many houses and I felt priced out too. All right. This is back in 2000, 2001. My first house ended up being a $57,000 cinder block house. There was nothing fancy about it. All right. It was what I could afford at the time. My rent at that time was $410, and the new mortgage payment was going to be $475. That scared the heck out of me. All right. I was barely making it as it was. But I remember sitting at the kitchen table wondering if I had made a huge mistake. Here's what I've learned since then. Affordability is driven less by the price of the homes and more by the relationship between your income and your expenses. Interest rates today, even in the 7% range, they're still lower than what I and many of my Gen X friends faced in the late 90s and the early 2000s. All right. Home prices, yeah, are they higher today? Absolutely, they're higher, but they're set by supply and demand. They're not a conspiracy to shut out young buyers. What really makes the difference is income. If you don't have skills, you are limiting yourself. Your salary is going to be limited, and that directly affects what you can afford. It's not criticism, it's a reality. All right? Here's the good news, because there's always good news, right? The good news is that skills can grow, and income grows with skills. A year ago, I worked with a young couple in their early 20s. Neither one of them had a degree. One was a single mom who had two kids, and she started out in fast food when she was a teenager. She moved into retail, and then she started doing things like DoorDash and Instacart, delivery gigs. When she had her baby, she finally landed a job at a local factory because she realized she needed something better for her kids. She worked really hard, and within a couple years, she was no longer working on the factory floor, but she got into the HR department, and now she's in a training position. All right, she's done very well. Now, her husband wasn't her husband at the time when they started, but they've since been married. He recently started a federal security job, and he's got a path to incredible stability and growth, and his income is growing. Guys, listen, they were scared last year to take on a mortgage. They did it, and today they're thriving. Both of them have gotten raises since they bought their house. They're making more money than they did then, and it's getting easier to afford that house. So here's the takeaway. No one is systematically blocking you from success. Did you hear me? No one is systematically blocking you from success. The system rewards skill, persistence, and value. You are the variable in your story, and the strongest move that you can possibly make to improve your position is to increase your skills. All right, let's jump into comment number 2. You had low costs to get into that stuff. We're just trying to pay our bills. All right, this is at Sir Failure of Nights. This is what he wrote. Yeah, you had low cost to get into that stuff. We're just trying to pay our bills. Well, I think it's all in your name, Sir Failure of Nights. Why would you choose that name? Failure of Nights? I mean, knights are like warriors, right? So why are you going to be a failure of knights? Why wouldn't you be like the king of all knights? Why wouldn't you be like the warrior king of the knights? Something like that. Okay, whatever. Okay, let's get into my response. Believe me, I understand what just trying to pay bills feels like. When I was in my early 20s, single guy, I lived with 3 other guys in a 2-bedroom apartment. We ate top ramen because that's all we could afford. In order to buy my wife's engagement ring, man, I starved myself for 3 months so I could scrape together $100 and go buy her a used ring. I was broke as a joke, all right? So yes, housing was a lot less expensive in absolute dollars back in those days, but wages were lower too. I was making $6.75 an hour, and I worked 2 jobs that I still didn't make 40 hours a week. All right. We didn't have $12 minimum wage, $15 minimum wage. We didn't have any of that. No, our minimum wage back in those days was a lot lower. I worked 2. I was picking up side gigs, working with contractor friends of mine just to make ends meet. Okay. Every generation feels squeezed when they're starting out. That's just the nature of building from scratch. Today's high costs, trust me when I tell you this, they're going to look like low costs to the next generation. Just like our low costs look like super low costs to you in this generation. That's just how inflation and economic growth works over time. Okay? That's a reality check. Got it? Sir Failure of Nights, you're a gamer. You know that every level has hidden tricks, that you've got to figure that out in order to pass on to the next level. If you want to level up, man, you're going to fail more than you succeed at first. But as you keep trying, you find the tricks and you move up, you level up. Life is no different. Social media sells shortcuts, but real life rewards persistence, learning, and problem solving. Stop whining. Get over it. It's just the reality of the situation. Time to level up, buddy. All right, let's get into comment number 3. Maybe the job market is so messed up that millennials can't afford a house. Watcher 413 wrote, or maybe the job market is so messed up millennials can't afford a house, so they don't attempt to buy a house. Let me tell you something here. Watcher 413, all right? The job market goes through cycles. Sometimes it's up and employers are hiring aggressively. Sometimes the job market is down and businesses start to tighten up. It's not a permanent condition. It's just the ebb and flow of the economy. A lot of times our younger generations don't understand how the economy goes ups and downs and ups and downs. We got really high times, we got really low times. But here's the other piece, okay? If your income isn't where you want it to be, you can't wait for the market to fix it for you. You have to find ways to create value. That might mean a side hustle. It might mean investing in training or even starting your own business. Look, I learned this lesson in 2001. I was a bank manager. I was moving up in the company when my wife and I had our first child. She wanted to stay home, but we needed her income to be able to pay for that mortgage that we had, right? An opportunity presented itself, and I left the comfort of my salary to take on a 100% commission position running the mortgage department. It took me 6 months, but I finally replaced her income and she got to come home. Guys, listen, it was risky and it scared the heck out of me. I didn't have a guaranteed paycheck, but it taught me that income is a reflection of the value that you bring to the marketplace. If you want to buy a home, affordability is not just about prices. It's about your ability to level up your income and create stability. It's not easy, but it's possible. This is why I state that affordable real estate feels like a myth. It feels like we're never, ever, ever going to have affordable real estate again. But where does that leave us in 2025? Yes, median prices have climbed. And yes, wages haven't always kept up at the same pace. But that's why many people feel home ownership is out of reach. Affordability has never been static. See, boomers struggled in the 70s with double-digit mortgage rates. Gen X barely scraped by in the 90s with really low wages. And guess what? Millennials and Gen Z are facing today's challenges, but the fundamentals are the same, all right? Every generation starts with less experience, lower pay, and fewer resources. Over time, with persistence and skill building, they gain stability and move up. It's not about waiting for the market to become fair. The fair is where you go for the Ferris wheel and to see the ponies and eat your corn dogs and get some funnel cake. Guys, it's about finding a way forward one step at a time. All right, so here's a word to home sellers. If you're a homeowner and you're getting ready to sell your house in Albuquerque or anywhere else for that matter, these conversations are so important for you too. Buyers that are walking through your door are often young families or they're first-time buyers. They're nervous about affordability, just like you and I were when we bought our first place. That means that your presentation, your pricing, your preparation matter more than ever. Buyers may be stretched thin, but they will pay for value when they see it. Homes that are clean, staged, move-in ready, they stand out. Properties that are priced strategically attract more offers, even in a market where affordability is a hot topic. So set your house up for success. Sell your house using practical, proven methods, and we can help you. Look, let me give you a few closing remarks, all right? It is so easy to look at the headlines or look at comment threads in social media and conclude that affordable housing is a myth in 2025. Guys, history tells us otherwise. Every generation has faced challenges, and this generation's no different, all right? Every generation has found a way forward, and this generation will also. Yes, housing is expensive. It always has been. Yes, wages and job markets fluctuate. They always have. But the path to home ownership has always involved risk, persistence, and personal responsibility. It's not about blaming external forces. It's about becoming the strong link in your own story. All right. So, to younger generations, your frustrations are valid, but don't stop there. All right. Learn, grow, adapt, find your way. And to today's home sellers, understand that these buyers are navigating fears and realities that took a lot of yours. They felt a lot like yours did at one time. Okay. They look a lot like it. That perspective is going to help you prepare your home to sell it faster for more. I'm Joshua Christensen with Christensen Properties, powered by R1 of New Mexico. As for more real estate insights like this, subscribe, share, connect with us, make some comments. If you're ready to buy or sell in Albuquerque, visit our website and learn how we can help you reach your real estate goals this year and next year.